We need to talk about recycling because it is something that a lot of people are concerned about, but we have to understand that different materials are recycled in different ways, and there is actually an economic advantage to some material recycling. I'll give you a classic example of what happens out on my farm. When my irrigation team come to put in new plastic pipes into the farm to run water to my cherry trees, there is a big issue, right? Which is that there's often a lot of offcuts of plastic piping left around on my farm that I have to go pick up. Why? Because that plastic piping offcuts have no value. There's a big difference though, when the electricians come to my farm, not an atom of offcuts is left over. Simply put, because those offcuts are worth something, and those buggers steal them and take them away and scrap them and make some money back. And what they're taking away is metals, right? And in many cases, if you scrap metal in New Zealand, you are paid to scrap that metal. Why? Because it is cheaper to recycle the metal than it is to dig new metal out of the ground. If you have a look at something like copper, copper is a really interesting metal because about 2/3 to 3/4 of all copper in the world that has ever been mined is still in use today. And about 1/3 of the annual global supply of copper comes from recycled copper. Why? Because it's cheaper than digging more copper out of the ground. When we look at things like batteries are largely metals. They're full of things like lithium, cobalt, nickel, manganese. These are all really valuable metals, which means when the time comes to recycle batteries, there are going to be options available for recycling because, again, it's cheaper to recycle those batteries and pull the metals back out in high concentrations than it is to dig it out of the ground.